Today we're going to be working on some 900k runs in the Mines of Moria raid. Sigma Immortals just started a new raid today, and I've made some significant improvements to my Road to Rivendell team. Just going to jump straight in and see how we do the first try. So if you're not familiar with the typical setup for a 900,000 run with Road to Rivendell, or really just the team in general, it's really important to have your Frodo and Merry basic attacks at tier 6. You also want to have Pippin's heal at tier 6. And then there are a couple of other kind of vanity abilities that you can upgrade that might help you kill the Skull Crusher before he attacks. I think that's very important to make the run easier and have less RNG, but you can still do this painstakingly with the right setup, the right RNG on your side as well. So kind of the trick here is you want either Merry or Pippin to avoid the turn 1 slow or the slow from the Skull Crusher's AoE if you can't kill him. If you cannot get one or the other or both of them to avoid the slow, it's basically an automatic reset. And there are a couple of things you can do to help give yourself a better chance to avoid that slow, primarily using Sam's taunt. He will potentially grant Nimble to one of the other Hobbit characters. Obviously, if he grants Nimble to, and it's the most injured. So if Strider or Frodo gets more injured than Merry or Pippin, it throws a little extra RNG element in there unless you have his taunt at tier 6. But you really want that Nimble to land on Pippin or Merry. That doesn't end things if you don't get the Nimble to land, but it certainly makes things a lot easier. And the setup isn't too bad, but you can find yourself resetting over and over and over again if you want that perfect 900,000 run. So let's get started. Really doesn't matter what you do here, but the better choice would be higher damage. I do have Frodo's special one at tier 5. So that's much better than last week. We're just going to keep pushing. So we're going to taunt here. All right, and we did get a Nimble on Merry, so that is a very good thing. We're going to try to burn him down here. Okay, so didn't quite avoid that. Oh, and he actually pulled the Nimble off of Merry, but that's okay because Pippin was able to avoid the slow. So we're going to heal, which will remove the slow from everyone. And we should be able to get past the bomber. We'll see what happens. Okay, unfortunately that run was a bust. Every now and then you'll get turn meter gain on the wrong characters, and that's what happened there. So let's go ahead and reset. Key to this team is patience. So same opener. And we'll taunt. So you can see we did not get the Nimble on the 2 characters we wanted it on, but that's okay. All right, so this run is over, but I'll show you just for illustrative purposes. So we're going to try to attack the bomber unless something crazy happens. Wow. Okay, so this typically never happens. And I think the run's still over because Frodo's pretty low. But we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So from here, probably doesn't matter what we do. I'm going to target the drummer. And we will definitely heal. And we're just going to try to get some damage on everyone, make sure they get far enough below 50% that even with the Shadow Seer's heal, should still be able to push through. Okay. And we'll go ahead and haste here. Like I said, I think this run is pretty busted. so that's not good. Couple of issues with that. Definitely should not have killed the character sitting here. Still a decent run. You can see, you really don't have to have everyone survive. If your team is not built up as much as mine, you can still get over 300,000 points with the 2-bomber strategy here, which we were able to accomplish on this run. We'll go ahead and heal. It's always important to heal your SAM when you have the opportunity. We're just going to humor ourselves and play this one out. So this is going to be an interesting one. We're actually going to target this bomber. I don't think we'll be able to do what I want to do here, but usually you have to be careful with 2 bombers if you don't think you're going to be able to get through both of their don't rush me's. They gave too much turn meter. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and close this one out. We don't want to accept it. I think that gives you a pretty general idea of how the strategy works. It's unfortunate with my recent investments, including tier 6 on Strider's leadership ability, that I don't quite have enough firepower to kill the Skull Crusher. It's pretty close though. I think maybe getting Strider's burn to tier 6 might do the trick. So we'll see where I'm at on that next week. I'm not quite ready to do that today. Didn't avoid the slow. So you can get an idea here of how much RNG goes into that nimble. Even if you were able to take Sam's taunt up to tier 6, you're still going to experience a lot of RNG there because it's all dependent on who gets targeted out the gate. Definitely frustrating to get Road to Rivendell set up for a good run. It is doable. Try not to get too frustrated. You have the strategy in place. You know what you need to do, and you just try to execute on it. The other thing that's worth pointing out is the reason why you even want to target the Skull Crusher, even if you know you can't kill him before he takes his turn, is we're going for this 2-bomber setup to start out with, where we know the bomber's not gonna kill everyone the first time. We just want him to get them all low, but we need that Skull Crusher to die. And the other part of the perfect setup here would be that Skull Crusher doesn't get replaced with another one. That happened to me a lot last week. A few moments later, I was able to get this 900k run. As you can see, Pippin avoided the slow, and I used his heal to cleanse the slow off of the rest of the squad. After that, it was just a question of managing the bomber and hoping we didn't have many War Guards or Skull Crushers show up. There were a few dicey situations to work around, including multiple War Guards, but using the techniques I discussed earlier in the video, I was able to make it work. Thank you for taking the time to watch my content. If you like this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. You can also check out my Patreon and Discord channels by following the links in the description. Quantum out.